Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to our 13th episode.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Oh my god, 13 just reminds me that, COVID and everything started on Friday the 13th.
Oh my gosh. It really did. Wow. Throwback. That seems
Yeah,
like a
so
lifetime ago.
so I believe that this number is
Unlucky?
yeah, sort
Ooh,
of.
yikes. Well, yeah.
No, this one will be good though. Honestly, 13 can be lucky or unlucky,
Yeah. It's one or the other, not in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a good episode. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah, me too.
In my bones. Okay, so remember how last week and maybe the week before that I told you I was going to work for DoorDash?
Yes,
I still
yes.
haven't uploaded my driver's license. I just thought I'd give you a quick update on that.
Sounds like you don't actually want to work for DoorDash.
No, I do. I'm just so busy. I'm so busy. I'm like helping my friend plan her wedding. That's next weekend. So, well, not plan it. Like just get everything done last minute. And I have been
Well,
so
once that's
stressed.
done,
No, yeah. Once that's done, I'm gonna be a free
go home.
a
Yeah.
free bird.
Oh my
Free
God.
bird.
Free bird. That reminds me of something I was going to tell you about.
What?
Okay. So, there has been a bird in my ceiling.
No, in your ceiling
Yes.
on the
It
second floor.
happened. So, my room's on the first floor.
Yeah,
Right?
and yeah.
So, this happened last year too. The there's like I guess a vent right outside my room, outside.
Oh yeah, I think
And
we talked about this on the podcast.
yeah, did we really on the
Yeah, I
podcast?
think so because yeah, I think so. Well, actually, I don't know. We
I'm sure
definitely
I told
talked
you
about
like
it.
in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
But but yeah, the bird has been back and it's been like making so much noise. It like wakes me up in the morning. It's like
No.
rustling around in there. And then I have to go and there's like a bathroom right next to me, so I have to turn on the fan in there and it like blows air, so I guess it gets
You should
out
just leave
then,
the
but
fan on.
it's loud. That's the
Oh,
only thing.
dang,
But yeah,
tragic.
that's
That's so funny.
yeah,
That
that was
is
my news.
that's really funny. Okay. First of all, did you watch, this is completely change of the subject, but I gotta talk about it. Have you watched The Circle season 1 on Netflix?
Oh, I saw the first one and I saw that there's another one.
Okay, yeah. So I've been watching season 2, but I had a quick little story because your girl was supposed to be on season 2. Did you know
Wait,
that?
were you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got really far in like the casting process somehow. I don't know how. Literally did not even try that hard, but it came down to the point where they're like, "Okay, write us like an essay basically about like would you be yourself or would you be a catfish and why?" And I literally couldn't decide so much that I'd never even turned anything else in because
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't decide. But
So that's the only reason.
and so then I kind of forgot about it. I got busy doing other things. And then so when this came out, I was like reminded that that happened.
Oh
But
my
I'm so
God.
happy that I didn't because those people, I can't. I can't. I'm glad I wasn't on that low key. But no, yeah. Well, also there was another reason I didn't do it too. You couldn't have a job for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
I was
do they
like,
give you money?
no, I don't think so. Unless you win.
Well, I guess
But
they like give you housing and
yeah,
food
no,
and
yeah.
stuff, so.
You get like, yeah. But like I had a job and I was like, I had just got
Yeah.
hired. I was like, I can't
Yeah,
quit.
true. That's true.
I mean, I could have, but like I was scared. So I didn't. But
Yeah.
like still to this day, I don't know. Like, cause I would want to go in as myself to be genuine, but really I would want to be a catfish. So that's pretty much what I had narrowed down is that I was going to be a catfish. But
I think you would have been really good at being a catfish.
I didn't know who I wanted to be, and that's what it came down to. I was like, I don't know who I could pull off me being.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
who
true.
could I pull off being?
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You're just like really convincing in any way though. So it's like I feel like any person.
True. Well, catch me on season 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. That would be amazing.
I did get an email actually to like sign up for season 3. So Uh,
Ooh, you should
maybe,
do it.
maybe I'll try. Mm,
Okay, well, one other thing that I wanted to mention, we did make a YouTube channel. Is that what it is? Channel.
yeah, channel. Wow.
Um, I think we're gonna put the link in the description, I guess.
Yes. Follow it.
And
Subscribe.
yes, we
Like
don't
and
have,
subscribe.
yeah, we don't have many things up there yet. We're trying to get all the episodes on there
Yeah.
audio only because
Yeah.
we
For
don't
now.
do video, but
Spoiler alert, in the future we want to do video, but
mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to get there at some point. That's
Yeah,
not right now.
yeah, definitely not right now.
But eventually.
We'll probably be like doing our video with like those fake backgrounds with like the digital background of me at the beach.
Yeah, or like I'm the potato filter,
Oh, exactly. That would be funny, honestly.
It would be. I couldn't even take myself seriously. Okay, but before you go into your story, I have to do a quick little shout out to, okay, so we have like analytics and we can see like where all of our listeners are from and things. And we have some listeners in Israel, and I think that is so cool. So, shout out to them. Thanks for listening.
Yes, and we have listeners from like all over the world,
Oh
so
yeah, we
that's
have
really
shout
cool
out to all
too.
of y'all. Shout out to you if you're in the United States too, but it's cooler if you're not. So sorry.
Yeah, because we're from here, so it's
Yeah,
not that cool.
yeah.
Okay, well, let me get into my story then.
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay, so mine is the haunted St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Oh, okay. In Florida?
Yes.
Oh, I've never been there, but I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, I've never been there either. But it seems like this lighthouse seems really cool. Like I want to go visit it.
Ooh,
Should put it on our list.
Juju, write it down.
Okay. So this lighthouse is like really famous for being haunted, I guess.
Ooh,
And it was on Ghost Hunters and BuzzFeed Unsolved did an episode on them.
yes, that's what I was gonna be like. I feel like I watched something recently. It was definitely BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah, I actually got a lot of my information from the BuzzFeed Unsolved.
We love them.
So, yeah, a lot of this stuff is directly from them. But anyway, so St. Augustine was the first real city in America too,
Oh,
which is really
what?
cool.
No, I did
Yeah,
not
so
know
it's like
that.
really old. It's because it's like they actually said this in the BuzzFeed video. It's the oldest continually inhabited settlement in the United States.
Oh, interesting.
So I guess once it was settled, like
Nobody ever
it's
left.
just yeah,
People have been
yeah.
there since then. Crazy.
Since like 1565.
What?
So
Wow, that's so unheard of. 1500s.
I know in America, like what?
What?
Yeah, and it's 40 miles south of Jacksonville. So I guess that's like a bigger area. People know it better.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, in 1565, it was a Spanish settlement, and then it was taken by the British in 1763.
Ooh.
And then right after the British took it over, the HMS Industry, which is a ship, it sank in the water below the lighthouse.
What?
Yeah.
Were there people on it?
You know, I think so. I didn't really look too much into that.
Yeah.
But I think there were, yeah.
No.
So I guess, yeah, that's the first thing. Like, people are haunting the water
Yeah.
scene, maybe? I don't know.
Probably.
And the lighthouse has been there since 1586. So,
Whoa.
like,
Still standing today?
well,
Like, I mean, obviously
it's,
they've done repairs and stuff.
I'll get into it. There's technically a new one.
Oh.
So yeah, like 20 years after it was settled, like they built this lighthouse and there's been one there ever since. And because of like eroding coastlines, it was started to fall into the ocean in the 1880s. And the new one was built 500 yards from the old one.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's
Yeah.
most lighthouses.
So it's like the same area.
Yeah.
So I guess the same ghosts could be there.
Yeah.
But it is technically a different lighthouse. So this new one began guiding ships in 1874. And I guess the first one was like the earliest permanent aid to navigation in the US.
What?
So
That's
the
crazy.
first lighthouse, maybe? I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna say, is it the first lighthouse? I'm
Yes.
gonna look it up.
Um, okay, so the newer lighthouse, which is still really old, it began guiding ships in 1874, and the light could be seen up to 24 nautical miles away.
Oh,
And it's currently the oldest brick structure in St. Augustine.
what?
So the oldest structure in the oldest city.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah. Um, Fun fact, 219 steps to the top.
I feel like that's not that bad. Kind of
Yeah, I
short.
guess for a lighthouse, I don't know.
I mean, 200 steps kind of, I mean, not easy on a stair climber, but not the worst thing.
Yeah. I used to. Have you been up lighthouses before? Like, I
Yeah.
really haven't.
Yeah, I've been up one when I was
I
little.
haven't been to the top of any lighthouse, I don't think, but in Delaware, where I used to go camping, there's this park, Cape Henlopen State Park, and they had like lookout towers.
Oh, yeah, I've been to lookout towers too.
So
When
they're like
I,
similar, but
yeah, when I was little, I went with the Girl Scouts to one, I don't remember what lighthouse it was, but a lighthouse, and it was miserable, okay? Because there's no air conditioning, obviously. We went in the middle of summer, and I almost had a heat stroke, literally,
oh
from
my
climbing the
god.
steps, and your girl has asthma bad. Couldn't breathe. It was very hot, but so 0 out of 10 experience for me.
And you said 219 steps is not a lot.
I mean, it's definitely a lot. Just I expected it to be more.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wonder how much those like lookout towers I used to go up were, because we used to go camping there like every year, so I would climb those a lot.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
wondering. Okay, anyway, we're gonna get on to the ghosts that are in the tower.
Spooky
All
ooky.
right. So one of them is Peter Rasmussen.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the first lighthouse keepers. So I guess they're the ones who live there and like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, and
do the
like
light
take
and
care.
everything.
Yeah.
He's now ghost.
Now goes.
um, he is like the first ghost people come in contact with. He's in
Oh.
like the keeper's house, which
Mm-hmm.
is like in the basement of the lighthouse. So when you
Ooh.
first walk in,
A lighthouse has a basement, or just like the first
I
floor.
think it's just like the base of
Oh.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and they called it a basement. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. They say he's just, if you see like a man in a blue suit, that's him. And he worked in the lighthouse from 1901 to 1924, which is the longest any keeper was there.
Oh wow. I mean, that was a long
So,
time.
yeah, 23 years.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved cigars, so many people report smelling cigars.
Whoa.
And he also hated tourists. So,
That's me.
he's really cranky. Yeah, I guess he doesn't really do anything to the tourists or anything, but he just doesn't like them.
Yeah. I feel that. I really relate.
Yeah. Okay. Then there is William Harn. He was one of the first keepers. I think he was the actual first one. Cause or the first one in like the second lighthouse.
Yeah.
Cause that was built in 1874 and he came on in 1875. So,
Oh,
fun fact, he was born in Philadelphia. Same.
shout out. Shout
And then
out.
I guess he made his way down to Florida.
He made his way down yonder.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
he-
you. You
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
go you didn't go as far, but
I might.
true that.
He was the first keeper to die at the lighthouse.
Oh, he
So-
died there.
Yes. Well, how are they supposed to be ghosts there? Like,
I
don't
know.
you think they died there?
I mean, I know. But like the keeper died there. Like how?
yeah, a few of them died there.
No.
He had malaria and tuberculosis.
Yeah,
So
that happens.
he got it from the Civil War.
Oh, tragic.
And because he had tuberculosis, you can hear him coughing in the
Ah.
parlor.
Ew. Okay, I don't like that. He's not even bad, but I don't like it. Like I would not want to hear somebody coughing behind me.
I
Oh
don't
no.
know. I like looked this guy up just to find more stuff out about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, he seems like a pretty good guy. He just coughs.
Yeah, he's got tuberculosis. What can you do?
He like had all these things going for him in the war. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know anything about war or like the
History.
military to know what any of it meant, but like
Yeah.
I was on he has like a Wikipedia page.
Oh, what?
So
This man's famous.
yeah, that's where I found out he was born in Philadelphia. I wonder if
Oh.
we were born in the same area.
I wonder. You probably
That'd
were.
be funny.
In like thousands, no, hundreds of years apart.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. The next person is Joseph Andrew. He was another lighthouse keeper. So
All these keepers.
the third one. And he was the keeper of the original lighthouse.
Oh.
So the one that fell into the ocean, basically.
Mm-hmm. That is so crazy. That happened to one in North Carolina too. I don't remember which one. Maybe the Ocracoke one?
Yeah.
Don't
I
know.
guess because, I mean, they build them
No,
close
it was
to the shore.
Hatteras. It was Hatteras. No, yeah, because I've been there. They had to move it way back from the shore because it like literally I think fell in. Because yeah, I mean they want to keep it as close to the water as they can so the
Yeah,
boats
and
can
then
see them, but also the water
erosion.
erosion. Yeah, so
Yeah.
rip to the lighthouses.
Yeah. Okay, so Joseph was the keeper of the original lighthouse. So he can be seen at the top of the lighthouse, like pacing over the observation deck.
What?
Like,
That's
you know, the
crazy.
observation deck is
Yeah.
a
Like yeah,
circular
light
area
is.
around, I guess, with like the little bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he died in 1859 at age 60.
Oh, he lived a good life. Long one for the times.
Yeah, honestly, true. And okay, I don't know if you'll be able to guess this, but I kind of want to see, how do you think he died? If
He fell
if he's
off.
seen,
He fell off the top of that thing.
yeah, he did. He
No.
was
That's
he
so
was
scary.
whitewashing the outside of the tower, like painting it, and he fell to his death.
No,
sadly.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
how tall? It's only 200 steps. I feel like that's not that tall. But maybe my brain just can't
Yeah,
really
I don't
comprehend it,
know.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's seen at the top looking out.
That is sad.
And after he died, his wife actually took over,
What? As the
which is
keeper?
kind of crazy. Yeah.
We love that. Women
So in
empowerment.
January 1860, so like I think like the month after he died, she just took
Wow.
his place.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and here's some stuff about her. Her name was Maria, and she has like a really long name. It's like Maria Mestre de las Dolores Andrew,
Andrew.
because that's
Yeah. Joseph.
his last name.
Or whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
So Maria, she was the first woman lighthouse keeper.
Shout out to her.
Yes, and she was the first Hispanic American woman to control a federal shore installation.
Whoa. That's awesome. Go, Maria.
And it doesn't stop there. The Coast Guard actually honors her as the first female employee and one of the first Hispanic employees.
What?
Even though
Wow.
the Coast Guard didn't really like run the lighthouses back then, they still like claim her.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she can be seen on the observation deck as well, with her hair
heartbreaking.
down, and she's in a white dress. So
Is she with her husband or no?
yes,
Oh my
they walk around together,
goodness.
and
That's so cute. Okay, I'm really trying to go to this lighthouse.
I know. I want to see Joseph and Maria. Like, that's so
Same.
cute.
That's so cute.
Okay, so that's it for those two. Okay, so the next person I have is, well, okay, so it's the daughters of Hezekiah H. Pitty. Hezekiah is just a very interesting name.
It is indeed.
He was the construction superintendent for like the second lighthouse. So it was being built from 1871 to 1874. And he would bring his daughters to work with him.
Mm-hmm. Don't tell me they died. No.
Well, the two sisters, Eliza and Mary, and another girl who was like a worker, one of the workers' daughters,
Mm-hmm.
they would all play together. And one day they were playing in a cart that was used to carry materials for the renovation. Like, I think it was like sort of on a track, you know, running from like sort of the edge over to like the lighthouse. I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was said that the cart broke loose.
Oh,
and
no.
they didn't jump out in time, and they plummeted into the water, into
Oh.
the bay.
Oh, wow. Is that like a far drop from the
I'm
lighthouse to the water?
guessing.
That is tragic.
Yeah.
How old were they?
I
And
don't know that either.
all of them just had to
They're just
watch
like young
that.
girls.
That's,
They were young.
oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I would guess under 10, but
Yeah.
I don't really know for sure.
They all three died.
Yeah.
That's,
So they can be seen around the lighthouse. They're heard like laughing at the top of the tower at night, or you can hear them laughing and playing on the grounds. They like to play hide and seek.
that's cute.
Um,
I don't like it at all, though.
yeah, I know. Like, kids are cute, but then also like ghost
Like,
kids
kid
are like
ghost?
creepy.
No. I don't want to hear no kid ghost laughing near me.
I mean, I don't know. It might be cool.
I guess.
So somebody has seen a girl in a red dress in the window of the keeper's house. Like,
Who is
when they were
that?
outside of the building, they saw her just like standing inside.
Whoa.
And people also see children's footprints inside
Ah,
the
no.
lighthouse. Like, you know, they run around barefoot and then they have dirt on their feet and
What? Wait, so we don't know who the
footprints.
red dress woman is?
It was a kid.
Oh.
So it was one of them. Yeah.
Oh. Got it.
And this one's sad. Some people have spotted Eliza floating in the water
Oh,
in the
no.
blue dress that she died in.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That is
Yeah.
like very traumatic.
I know. Yeah, but a lot of people just see them like running around and stuff and like laughing. So
Well, that's
I
good.
guess, yeah, it's good. Okay, so this part made me laugh a little bit.
I'm ready.
This part I saw on BuzzFeed, the BuzzFeed video. There's a ghost cat.
No, there's not.
Yeah. So apparently there was this boy named Cracker Daniels, and it's like, okay, first of all,
Okay,
what kind of name
Cracker.
is that? And he went to the top of the lighthouse, and he put a parachute that he made on his sister's cat. And he dropped the cat off the top of the lighthouse to see if the parachute would work.
Oh my God. It
But
didn't work.
It did work.
It did work.
Yes. That's so funny.
Can you just imagine a little boy throwing a
Oh,
cat off
I
and
know.
then the parachute works?
I know. Like, can you imagine the cat floating down?
The cat was probably
That is
so
so
scared.
funny. Yeah, I know. And so the cat was not really harmed from this, according to the BuzzFeed video.
Yeah.
But like the cat does haunt the area apparently. So,
It's just like, yeah, this place is cool. This is where I want
yeah,
to be.
exactly.
I'm glad it didn't die.
I know. Yeah, that would have
From the
sucked.
parachute, at least.
Okay, so there's a few other things that people will see when they go around the lighthouse that are a little ghostly.
Ooh, spooky.
Staff members say that they lock the door at the top of the tower every night, but then in the morning it'll be open.
Ew.
And people say that it is Joseph and Maria because they like to walk on top of there.
Yeah.
So they'll like open the door.
That would scare me more, that there would be like people up there, like real live people instead of ghosts. Like if
Yeah,
I was
that's
working there,
true.
I'd be like, is it hello?
I know. Yeah, you're right. Hmm. Well, I don't know. Um,
It's definitely the ghost
there,
though.
yeah, there's also been like chairs have been moved or turned over,
What?
which is like,
They're just
that's,
bored.
yeah, yeah. And this one was kind of weird. Like items in the gift shop are moved around and appeared later in different spots, but it's like, don't a lot of people go in the gift shop?
Right. Don't you like pick up stuff and you're like, never mind, this is too expensive? Because I do
Yeah,
that.
so I don't really know what that one was supposed to mean.
Wait, is the gift shop like in the lighthouse?
I'm guessing, yeah.
Oh, I want to go.
I know, I really want to go too. And the last thing was that music boxes will turn on by themselves,
Oh,
start playing
that is
music.
sign number one to turn around and go back the way you came.
Okay, you just said you wanted to go.
I do, but then I still will go. But I don't want to hear a music box going off. That's like the creepiest thing. Like
Yeah,
Hallmark
I
scary
mean, true.
movie thing all the time.
I really want to go though. It seems like so cool.
Yeah, no, it
I
does seem
just,
cool. Also, like
and
the
it's like by the
town.
beach and stuff.
Yeah,
Yes, and it's like the oldest town. We have to go.
yeah, we do. Juju, mark that as number one.
Yeah, honestly, true. And it's by the beach. Perfect
Right?
summer trip.
Exactly. Florida. Love Florida. Crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Okay. So, are you ready for your story now, Taylor?
Oh, I am. Are you ready for my story?
I don't
Is the
know. It
question.
seems kind of, it seems like it's gonna be a lot from what you've told me,
Okay,
which is
so
like nothing.
yeah, I think you have no idea. You've definitely heard of the story though.
Okay.
Okay, so this week I'm doing the legend of the Greenbrier ghost, and you might say, Taylor, I've
Oh,
never heard of that, but you definitely have.
I think I have actually heard of that, but I don't remember anything about that.
Ooh, okay. Well, let me tell you about it. So, um, okay, so my parents and all my family are from West Virginia. I think I've mentioned that many times on this podcast. But specifically, they're from like a really small town called Raynell, West Virginia. And so my whole life I've been going up there, visiting all the time, spending time in West Virginia, specifically in this area. And so I have known about this legend my whole life. And it only like very recently got kind of popular. A couple podcasts have like covered it, maybe a lot, I don't know. But I thought I would cover it because I don't really have personal experience, but I do a little bit. So,
Ooh,
you know,
we always love when it's personal experience.
I know.
See, I need to do one where I have some personal
You
experience.
do. You do. um, okay, so the Greenbrier ghost, and by the way, it's called the Greenbrier ghost because it's located in Greenbrier County, West Virginia.
Okay,
So,
yeah, I thought it was like the location.
yes, it is.
Cool.
So, the Greenbrier ghost is the nickname of the ghost of this young woman whose name was Zona Heaster Shue, and she was murdered in 1897. Dun dun
Ooh.
dun. Okay, so a little bit of history. So Zona had a child out of wedlock in 1895, which I
Ooh.
mean, obviously for the time, not accepted. Like,
Yeah, that seems bad.
yeah, not allowed. So I couldn't find literally anything about what happened to this baby. I have no idea. I know that her and the guy, like, first of all, she wasn't even sure about whose baby it was, but the
Mm.
baby daddy that she thought it was, like, left. He was like, nah, not about that life. But also, she doesn't have the baby, so I don't know where this baby went. Who's to say?
Oh,
Don't know.
interesting.
I know. So, anyway, after the baby, she just moved on with her life. Don't know what she did with it. She was like, all right, peace. But in 1896, she met this guy who was like a drifter, and his name is Erasmus Stribling Trout Shoe. And he had
Huh.
just moved to Greenbrier County to start a new life. So that would be red flag number one in my book, I would say. um, so, like I said, I have literally grown up my whole life, like knowing about this story, and I'll tell you
Hmm.
why, like a little bit later. But, but it wasn't literally until I started doing research on this that I realized that. So, in his name, Trout, That is my grandma's maiden name.
What?
Yeah. And so I tried my absolute hardest to go. I'm not doing ancestry. I'm not providing my DNA, but
Yeah.
I tried so hard to find a family tree and see if, like, I mean, obviously we're related somehow.
Oh my
Like
God,
in
Taylor,
this,
you have to do your DNA.
dude,
That's
maybe,
insane.
dude, this man. I mean, spoiler alert, he's the murderer.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I would think. And that
Um,
you're related
I'm
to
related to him. Yeah.
possibly,
I
possibly.
mean, what
Allegedly.
allegedly, but what are the odds in this tiny town of like 20, I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess 20,000 people maximum, that this guy would have the same, like, one of his last names as my grandma? Like,
Yeah,
come
and
on
that's
now.
like not like trout is not really common, I don't think, right?
No, no. Like in West Virginia, and all the people named Trout are my family. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Oh my God.
that's one way. I mean, so fun. I might be related to a murderer, but maybe that's why I have such bad luck. I don't know. Um, anyways, though, so him and Zona fell very quickly in love and got married, even though Zona's mom did not like this man from the absolute second that she met him. And for no reason either. Just got extremely bad vibes
Okay,
immediately.
well, maybe her intuition is telling her something.
Exactly. And also, like, if your mom has a gut feeling about somebody, like, just listen to them. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
no, I mean, I don't know. I feel like listen to them personally.
Hmm.
I would listen to my mom. Um,
Yeah, I probably would too.
yeah. Um, so the couple, they live very peacefully for like a very short amount of time, but tragically, Zona's body was found in her home only a few short months later by a young boy who had actually been sent to the house by Shu on an errand. Also, I'm gonna call this man Shu. Just easier. I'm not calling him Erasmus every time I have to say this man's
Oh,
name.
so her little boyfriend sent somebody to go find her?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But
Oh
so,
my
but a
God.
backstory on this boy. It wasn't just like weird that he would send this. Like, this little boy was like 11 years old, and he sent this boy. So
Okay.
that's already so messed up. But apparently, this little boy ran errands for this family all the time. So like, it wasn't like out of the
Okay.
blue. I mean, it was. He's the reason. I mean, he killed her. But
That's so awful though. Like he knows and then he's just gonna
I know,
traumatize this little boy.
right? So
Oh
this
my
little
God.
boy finds her body at the foot of the steps, and obviously he was traumatized, so he ran like across the street and told his mom, and she was actually the one, his mom, to call the doctor and the coroner. But because of the time period, they didn't get there for almost an hour,
Yeah.
which was not good because by the time the doctor got there, Shu had already carried Zona's body up the steps into their bedroom and laid her body on the bed. He had literally dressed her in extremely nice clothes, which, I mean, maybe it doesn't sound that suspect. Like up until this point, maybe he's just sad. I don't know. His wife
Mm-hmm.
could be have fallen down the steps. But what is extremely suspect is that for this time period, like, you men did not clean or like dress corpses' bodies ever. It was literally the women in the community's job to do this. So
Oh.
people already were like, okay, that's a little bit weird, sir. This isn't your job. You're not supposed to be doing this. And he kind of like played it off like, oh, I'm just really sad about my wife dying. But people were like,
Did so like so he knew that she was dead by then? Because you said the doctor was called, but
yeah, but he hadn't got there yet because it took like over an hour for them to get there.
so like I'm just saying like did they know that she was dead?
Oh, oh yeah. Like the
Okay.
little boy knew she was dead. Like when he
Okay.
walked in, yeah,
Right. Okay.
there was like blood. Like she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, he dressed her in this really high necked dress, like a very stiff collar, pretty much a huge turtleneck.
Oh.
And then he also,
Um.
yeah, and it was like
Trying
not
to hide something?
potentially. And he also put a veil over her face.
Okay.
Yeah, which maybe isn't that weird, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Suspect, if you ask me. So when the doctor eventually freaking got there after eternity, um, he found Shu upstairs in the bed holding his wife's head and crying. You know, I mean, as you would expect, I guess, of a husband. I don't know. But, so this man, sorry, I got lost for a minute. So at first, like when he walked in, he was just crying a little bit, but then he started playing the part a little bit too much. He was like,
Oh, being like super dramatic.
super, super dramatic, super crying, like super like, no, my wife's gone. And, so because he was acting like so unbelievably distraught, the doctor could literally only do a very short exam, like of the body.
Right.
Because he was being ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, see, okay, not to sound like a psychopath, but like sometimes since I listen to these stories all the time, I'm like, what would I act like if I was trying to fake it? Like, I don't think I'd be good at it. You know?
I don't want to make myself out to be a murderer, but I feel like I'd be pretty good at it.
Honestly, see, you probably would. That's why you'd be good on the circle too.
Maybe.
Anyways.
Funny. Okay, so, but in his exam, you know, he was trying, but the husband, Shu, was just not having it. He was absolutely not letting this man do his job. But he did get a very quick look at her neck, and he could see like a little bit of bruising. But when he tried to like take off or like move the like turtleneck collar type thing, Shu reacted extremely violently towards the doctor.
Oh.
And so the doctor was like, okay, well, this is not worth my life, so I'm leaving. So he left.
Said, oh, well, never mind.
He was like,
Bye.
okay, well, okay. But he was like, you know, this man, he's hurt. His wife just died very
Yeah.
suspiciously.
Yeah.
And she might have a bruise on her neck, but you know, I didn't see it. That's
Yeah.
not really what he said. But anywho, what did I just do? I lost my spot. Actually, I closed the whole document. No.
Oh,
Okay, and we're back.
okay.
So initially, the doctor, did I mention his name? Don't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, his name is Dr. Knapp. Knapp. I'm assuming it's Knapp.
Okay.
Dr. Knapp. So, he ruled at first Zona's death to be everlasting faint, which is what I feel like a lot of doctors ruled women's death back in this time, which just means they like passed out and never woke up, kind of.
What?
Just fell asleep. I'm like, okay.
Okay, back in the day, they really just were like, oh yeah, women just like faint all the time. And
Yeah,
it's okay.
they're just weak. Weak
It's
and
like,
they faint.
what?
And sometimes they just like have everlasting faint and never wake up.
I feel like people, like, women definitely just fake fainted all the time. Right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. They had to. Like, why were they fainting so much? Or why did men think that they were? I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
where
and
this
it's such
came
a
from.
weird, that's such a weird diagnosis.
For real.
Everlasting,
Faint,
like, what?
right? So weird. But
Is that like a real thing still?
no, I don't. No.
Can you faint and not? I mean, I guess you could.
I mean, yeah, you definitely could, but there would be other reasons, like heart attack, stroke.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like
Okay.
it wouldn't just somebody wouldn't be. Yeah, they died of everlasting faint.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, but the everlasting faint cause of death didn't last very long because then he changed it for no reason really. I mean, he had a reason, but he was like, okay, well, she didn't just fall asleep and die. First of all, she was at the bottom of the steps, so she at least fell down the stairs. But the second time around, he changed it to childbirth.
Oh, what?
And apparently, this same doctor, Dr. Knapp, had been treating Zona in the weeks before this happened for quote female troubles, and he never elaborated on that. And people have tried to see since then, like if she was pregnant, and nobody's ever been able to find out if she was pregnant when she died. But people assume that she was.
Oh.
So he might have not only killed her, but also maybe potentially their baby. So that's even worse.
Oh my gosh. Wait, were they married?
Yeah, they were married.
Oh.
Yes, but they hadn't been married for very long. Like just a
Right.
couple months, but they were married. Okay, so immediately when Zona's mom heard about her death, she literally said the words, "The devil has killed her." And she knew. She knew immediately. She was like, she didn't fall down the stairs. Shu killed her. And she said it from the very beginning that he did. Nobody really believed her, though, at first. So,
Yeah.
on January 24th, 1897, Zona was buried in the local cemetery, which is now known as the Soul Chapel Methodist Cemetery. And I have been there. So, crazy. But I'll talk about that later.
Did you see her?
No, I didn't see her. I actually didn't even know at the time that that's where she was buried.
Yeah.
I didn't know until
Yeah.
I was researching this. But as I said, we'll get into that later. So at her burial slash funeral slash wake, they called it a bunch of different things. I don't know what they called it back then, but there was a lot of people that showed up to it, and Shu would go from like extreme sadness and then immediately turn into like a burst of angry energy and just like hot and cold, like he was acting crazy. And people were noticing this, but like they were like, he's just sad, you know, his wife said. I'm like, okay, but you can only really, I mean, people grieve in different ways, but this is just suspect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so suspect. So, yeah, he also, as you can probably imagine, didn't allow anybody to come close to the coffin at all.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't want you guys seeing what I did.
Yeah, can't do that. And so, people actually, oh, and also he wrapped a scarf around her neck this time for the funeral. And so people kept asking, they were like, why is her face so covered and her neck so covered with this scarf? And he was like, oh, it'll help her rest easier. It was her favorite scarf. Like, okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. And not only did he have the scarf covering up her neck, but he also had a huge pillow on one side of her head and a big sheet on the other side to kind of like prop up her head. And people were like, what is all this about? And he was like, it's just, you know, her favorite objects. I'm like, okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
The things you're saying just aren't really, they're not really making sense. And so as much as he tried to hide it, people were really starting to question him, especially when they had to move her body to the cemetery, because everybody that had to carry her said that her head felt extremely loose. That is disgusting.
Oh my god.
But they didn't question it too hard, but they were just like, that's a little bit strange. And I'm like, that's very strange, sir. Nobody's head should be that loose.
Oh
That's
no.
nasty.
I'm starting to put things together.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned earlier, Mary Heaster, that's Zona's mom. So Mary
Okay.
knew. She knew from the start Shu murdered her daughter. And after the wake, she actually removed the sheet that was inside of the coffin, like propping her head up. Because, I mean, she was already buried at this point. So she took the sheet and tried to return it to Shu. And, you know, she was pretending. She was like, here you go. I thought you might want this to remember your love. But he refused to take it. Like, he wasn't even fronting anymore. He was like, no.
Oh, jeez.
And so she took it with her. You know, she was like, okay, well, this is a piece of my daughter. So, but she noticed a really weird smell to it. So she was like, okay, I'm going to wash it. And when she washed it, so you need to know, the sheet is white, okay? It's white.
Right.
It's white. It's currently white. She washes it. And the second that the sheet touched the water turned red. The sheet was white, but the water turned red. But then the sheet started soaking up the water, and it was like dyed, like light pink. But it was not bloody before. And so Mary took this as a sign from Zona. She was like, this is my daughter telling me that she was murdered, because this is not normal, first of all. Like this.
Definitely not. Like, that's weird. What?
Right.
It just.
You're right. She's like, okay.
Oh my
Interesting.
God.
Very interesting. So after this, she started praying every single night. And she was praying that Zona would come to her and help her figure out what happened. She was like, I have to know. Like, Zona, please, please, I want to help avenge you. Pretty much. And she did this every single night. Every single night she didn't miss a single night. And 4 weeks after the funeral, Zona appeared to her mom in a dream. And she said to her, Shu is an evil man and that he abused her all the time. And one night, He came home and he thought that she didn't cook any meat for dinner.
Oh
And
my
he
god.
attacked her. And he broke her neck. And that's how she died. And to prove this, the ghost in Mary's dream completely turned her head all the way around like an owl. And she was like, yeah, he broke my neck, Mom. And
Oh
the
my
next 4 nights
god.
after that, she returned and was telling her mom and to visit her. So,
Oh my god, just because she didn't cook meat. Like
yeah,
what?
and I'm pretty sure she also did cook meat. He just didn't see it
Oh my
or
god.
like smell it at first, I guess.
This man.
So, all because she wasn't a good, faithful wife to cook him some meat for dinner, he literally murdered her very brutally. So,
Well, she's not gonna be cooking anything then. Like, what
right,
was he
like have fun
thinking?
starving, like
Literally. You
right.
cook it yourself, and now you don't have anyone to cook it for you.
Exactly. So okay, after the 4 nights of Zona visiting her mom in her dreams, Mary went she was like, you know what, this is enough for me. I got all the proof I need. So she went down to the local prosecutor, John Preston, and spent many hours explaining to him what happened and somehow convincing him to reopen the case of her daughter's death.
So she
So
did convince him?
yeah, she did. So nobody actually knows like if he believed her about the ghost situation,
Mm-hmm.
but he believed her enough to send police to interview some people of interest. He was like, "All right, you know what? I don't know if I believe you, but I mean, I'm not really doing anything else, so might as well ask some people around." And the first person that they went to, as you can probably imagine, was the doctor, the coroner, Dr. Knapp.
Okay.
And he told them straight up, he was like, on the day of her death, I wasn't able to do a complete exam of her body because she was being crazy. And the prosecutor was like, okay, well, that's enough evidence for me. Let's exhume her body and give her a real autopsy then, since you didn't do it, since you didn't do your job, sir. So, on February 22nd, 1897, Zona's body was taken from her grave to the local one-roomed schoolhouse. And this is where they did
Oh.
the autopsy.
That's really weird.
That is so weird. I
They're
know.
gonna do it in the schoolhouse.
I know. Like all these little kids are just about to go like sit on their desk on Monday. And over the weekend, there was a body
There's a
on it.
body there.
Right.
What?
So crazy. Um, and apparently, Shu, quote, vigorously complained, but he was required to be there.
Of course.
So he had
Oh.
he had no choice but to be there.
Oh.
But he tried his hardest to get out of it. And when he got there, he was like, I know you're going to arrest me, but guess what? You're never going to be able to prove that it was me. So I won't be charged for it. He straight up just said that to them. I'm like, okay, sir, you are so stupid, but whatever.
Okay, he literally, like, they didn't even find anything yet.
Right.
Like, they didn't find
right.
anything on him
No.
yet. And then
No.
he just said,
He's like, yep,
well,
you got me.
you guys know it's me,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna prove it.
He's
so.
like, haha, too bad.
Like,
He's like,
I'm telling you right now that it was me, but
sorry, can't get me.
yeah, like,
Um, okay, so it took them 3 days to finish his autopsy because I guess he was like, okay,
geez.
I'm gonna do it right this time. Like you could have did it right the first time, but okay. But when it was over, they found the cause of death to be that her neck was broken and her windpipe was smashed. Okay, so trigger warning. If you don't like discussing, just maybe skip like 30 seconds, but I'm gonna give it to you. Give
Okay.
all the info, all of the
I can't
discussing. Yeah, sorry, Savannah. You're the only one without the option. Okay, so there was severe bruising on her neck in the shape of fingerprints, proving that she had been choked. And okay, this is disgusting. So really brace yourself. So her neck was completely dislocated between her first and second vertebrae, and that's why her head was so loose. Like completely, she was not connected. Like pretty much, other than like tendons and muscle, like she was pretty much decapitated.
ugh.
Yeah, the ligaments in her neck all torn, all ruptured. Even they weren't connected. Like she was literally being held together by her skin.
He just did that with his hands.
Yes, with his hands, all because of some meat.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that people are like that powerful that they can just do that to you.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's so horrifying. Also, her windpipe had been crushed to a point in the very front of her neck. Like, not only was it completely
Oh
broken,
my
he
god.
crunched it to one single point. Like, this man was strong, apparently, obviously. So, as you can imagine, immediately on site, he was arrested. Because I
Yeah.
mean, they might have been stupid, but they weren't that stupid.
Yeah. They're like, come on, who else would have done
They're
this?
like, okay, sir, first of all, you already told us that it was you.
Yeah, literally.
But you tried awfully hard to hide it from us. Um, okay, so awaiting trial, he was held in Lewisburg jail, which is like pretty much the closest, like, quote, big city. Because it's still
Okay.
small, but
Yeah.
it's like the biggest city, like, anywhere near. So as he was waiting for the trial, he told, no, I don't know what that was. No. A lot more information came out about this man's life when he was like sitting in jail. So he had been married twice before he married Zona. And his first marriage ended in divorce after his wife like accused him of great cruelty.
Okay.
So he beat her too, but she got out. His second marriage ended because she died very suspiciously, only 1 year
Right.
after they had been married. And allegedly, he accidentally dropped a brick on her head when he was
Oh my
making repairs to the
god.
roof in a different county of West Virginia. He accidentally dropped a brick on her
Oh
head.
my god, this man.
I know.
I
He's horrible.
don't get
He's
it.
horrible, dude, and I'm probably related to him. So
Oh my
that's,
god, I kind of forgot about that.
yeah, I wish I
Wait,
could forget about that. I really do.
I
He's
hope you're
horrible.
not actually. Like, what if it's just like a random,
Yeah,
like it
I
seems like it
I
could be
hope.
true, but
I hope. I really do. Because I'm not trying to
that's
be in
awful. Oh
any
my
way
god.
related to this
He
horrible
just
man.
dropped a brick on her and
Yeah.
then.
He probably didn't drop a brick. He probably crushed her with that brick and said that it
Oh, you
accidentally
think
fell.
so? Yeah.
Probably. Because then that's when he moved to start a new life. And that's when he got with Zona. So I
See,
think it was a
I'm
very
glad.
short time period in between all these happenings.
Right, but I'm glad for nowadays where you can just look these things up online.
Same. I could not live in
I
these
mean, I
times.
guess like was he? I guess he was never really like charged for that,
No,
right?
no. So after,
But
like, he kept
you
moving.
could,
Like, after his first wife, he moved. And that's when he met his second wife. And after she died, he
yeah.
moved again. So, like, people just
Oh
couldn't
my
really. That's why they called him, like, a drifter. I'm like, sir, you're not drifting. You're running from your murders. And honestly, those
yeah,
two, like, Zona and his second wife, probably were not his first. I mean, he was awfully good at killing people. So,
yeah.
who knows? Okay, so the trial. The trial of the century, as they say about every single trial.
Right.
Okay, on June 22nd, 1897, the trial began, and Mary Heaster, Zona's mom, was the star witness. Preston, the guy that she originally went to talk to, he was the prosecutor, and he questioned her relationship with Zona, how she felt about Shu, but most importantly, what all happened when she was visited by the ghost of Zona. And surprisingly enough, I was shocked to see this, that majority of people in the courtroom actually believed her story about the ghost.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised. Like, I don't know, but for like for some reason like during that time and the fact that it's from West Virginia just makes me think people would believe it. I
Well,
don't know
true.
why. Just
True.
like my thoughts about that those two factors is just
Yeah.
like, oh, well, yeah, people would probably believe that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of believe her, but also, like, even if
Yeah, I mean,
the ghost didn't really come back to her, like, she knew. Like,
yeah.
she knew, maybe it was just her, like, mother's instinct or whatever, but, like, she knew.
I
And,
mean, the fact that she got that whole story from her dream and stuff, like,
right.
it seems like that actually happened, so
Exactly.
she probably
Exactly.
did come to her,
Right.
you
And that
know?
is how she died. And she knew this before. Like, they were never going to reopen her case if it wasn't for her going to the prosecutor and telling her this.
Yeah.
And then it was just confirmed to be true when they found out how she actually died. So I believe her. And so did the rest of them on the jury because it only took 1 hour to decide what was going to happen to Shu.
It's also crazy that they could have like used that in court. Like, can you use stuff like that in court nowadays?
Absolutely not. In fact, I was going to say it later, but this was the one and only trial ever in history to have a ghost testimony.
What? Wait, that was a ghost testimony?
Yeah.
Just the fact that she had a dream?
Yeah.
Or...
because it was a dream of her ghost.
Okay, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so no, obviously
That's
that can't,
crazy.
especially not today, cannot be used. But it was the only time that it ever was used in court.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I know, so crazy. So it took about a month for the trial, but it only took the jurors an hour after they had all that information to decide that he was guilty. And on July 11th, 1897, Erasmus Shue was convicted of Zona's murder and sentenced to life in prison.
Good.
Right. So, literally, immediately after this, everybody was cheering. They all hated this man. They were like, you murderer. They literally formed a lynch mob to take him from the jail and hang this man. But the stupid police officers stopped them before they could do that.
Okay, I mean, you can't really do that, but...
No, but this man, dude, like...
I would have loved to see it happen, but also, like... There's gotta be a line, I guess, right?
I guess. But I feel like there weren't any lines at this time. So,
yeah,
why that?
It does surprise me that the police stop them. But...
I mean, whatever. But they arrested 4 people for that. And they went to jail for a long time.
Okay. Well,
so, rip to them.
I guess you can't just go and kill people.
Yeah. Guess you can't. Even if they're horrible, horrible people.
Yeah.
So Shue spent the rest of his life in West Virginia State Penitentiary, where he literally only lived for 3 more years until he died from an unknown epidemic, which sucks.
Oh.
And who even knows what he had?
Probably like
tuberculosis.
Yeah. That's what everybody had.
Yeah, who didn't? Honestly, we're all going to die of tuberculosis, low-key.
No.
Oh, and also, sidebar, West Virginia State Penitentiary is extremely haunted. So, future episode, question mark? Maybe.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to go there.
And so is Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
That I've seen.
Yes.
A little bit.
Eastern State Penitentiary is one of the most I think that's the most haunted jail in America.
Yeah, I've walked past it before. Because
you didn't go
I've
in
been to Philly a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been in it or anything.
I want to go there. That's like a bucket list to do like an investigation there.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway. So after he died of an unknown epidemic, he was buried, which I think is hilarious, in an unmarked grave in some random cemetery. So nobody can even find him. And I went on this thing, like, it was like find the grave or whatever. They couldn't even find his grave. And I'm like, haha, that's kind of funny. Sucked for me because I was trying to see if I was related to him. But
yeah, you can't see your ancestors.
No, I'm not trying to see him. Ever.
You just go up to his grave and, like, spit on it.
Right. I just, like, kick him in the ground.
Exactly.
He's already dead. Then he haunts me for life. Murders me as a ghost.
Yeah. I guess since he didn't have any other family, they didn't want him to have, like, a good grave. Or
exactly. Like, he killed everybody else pretty much in his life, so that nobody cared about him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, Zona's mom, Mary Heaster, never once in her whole life recanted her story about Zona's ghost coming back. But she did say that she never saw her ghost again. So pretty much she believes, and me, that was her daughter literally coming back and telling her what happened to try to like get this man locked up. And then she like moved on, passed on into the light, as they say. So that's at least good for her.
Yeah, honestly,
hope she's resting in peace.
I don't always believe like ghost stuff, but that I think I do believe that.
I do too.
You know?
No, I really do. I do. So
especially since she didn't come back and say anything else.
Exactly.
Like that makes me believe it more, like that she wasn't just making it up.
Exactly. Like even after this man died, she still was like, no, like she did come to me in a dream. So
I think if she was making it up, she would be like, oh yeah, she came back and told me this too, and she came back and told me this.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I feel like even although that story is crazy, I feel like she would have an even crazier story if she was really making it up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So,
well,
but yeah, like literally without her going back and without that happening, as I already said, like they would have never reopened her case and she would have been said her cause of death is childbirth for the rest of her days.
Yeah, so, even though like they didn't even know if she was pregnant.
Like they still don't even know. Like what kind of sense is that?
Makes sense.
Right. So people have accessed court records to try to like read this, and apparently Nothing is written down in whatever records are left from then about any sort of ghost testimony. But according to literally everybody, like, it happened. Like, this ghost testimony was told in court. It's literally written as the only time in history, and I'll get to it in a minute, but in history, it's the only trial that's ever had ghost testimony. So my opinion is that they probably knew how crazy it was going to seem, like, if they included this in the court records, so they just, like, left it out. Because they had other evidence. That wasn't the only evidence they had. But...
yeah, they probably... I feel like they probably did leave it out. And she definitely said something about that.
No, she 100% did.
And I bet the jury, like, that's the only thing they focused on.
Oh, it would be the only thing I focused on.
Like,
if I was in that jury.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, there is a state historical marker at the cemetery that Zona is buried in. And this is actually how I learned of the story as a kid. Because her cemetery that she's in, as we speak, is so close to my grandma's house on a traveled road that we travel on every single time I'm in West Virginia, pretty much. And I had no idea until I was researching this that that's where she's buried. I just thought maybe that's where her house was, because I have seen the sign many times, and I literally did not know that's where she's buried, but it is. So I've literally been there, which is insane.
That is really crazy.
I know.
Wait, and now I'm thinking about how he might have been related to your family.
I know. And
that's
also,
okay, how would he have been related? Because, like, he didn't personally have any kids, right?
Yeah, he actually did have kids.
Oh. Okay.
And I think they were from before I'm pretty sure they're from his first wife. So, yeah.
So I was gonna say,
he does have
you
kids.
said that there was a random kid that she had, and, like...
Oh, yeah. No, but he had kids. I'm pretty sure he at least had 2. I know for a fact. So.
Well, then maybe.
So, that would be how.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's the story of the legend of the Greenbrier ghost.
That is crazy.
I know. Like, it's actually
the fact
insane.
that it's, like, not really a haunting. It's just, like, it happened one time.
Yeah,
and she went to her mom.
Yeah. She was like, yeah, no, I'm not here to scare anybody. Not really here to pull any pranks. I'm trying to get my death avenged. And my crazy psycho husband rotting in prison for the rest of his life.
Literally.
Por favor. Yeah. I know.
Well, I'm glad she got what she deserved, what she needed.
I know.
From him to go to jail.
I know. And I literally was talking to my uncle. My uncle knows the story, which is how I first learned about it. He was just telling me pretty much most of the things I said. But I called my grandma before we recorded this to tell her that I was doing this story. And she had no idea that his name was a Trout. And she was very shocked. She was like, oh no. Like, I don't want that association. I was like, oh no, me neither. Trust me, me neither. But maybe. Who's to say?
Oh no. Oh
I
my
know.
god.
Crazy.
She's gonna, like, go digging in her stuff and be like, oh.
Oh, look, here he is. Right.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. Can't be having that. But, anyways, yeah. Peep our Instagram to see pictures. I have some pictures of Zona herself. The ghost lady. The Greenbrier ghost.
Ooh.
So, peep our Instagram. Rate and review us on Apple Podcast. Tell your friends.
Definitely.
Your enemies.
And now you can go to our YouTube and see once this one's uploaded. You can comment.
Yeah.
But
eventually they'll all be uploaded. Sorry, it takes a long time. But a few of them are already up. So I know people like to listen to podcasts on YouTube. I do that sometimes. So
yep.
Just thought we might as well add another medium if we can. And also, pretty sure, at least, we're going to include the pictures, at least some of them, in the YouTube videos. So.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe another reason to watch on YouTube. But yeah, you got anything else, Savannah?
Nope.
Okay, well that concludes spooky episode number 13. Ooh. See you next week.
Cue the music.